Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They're running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G, Swan and Jules in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate in the end zone. We don't got no time in the wait. H-time run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first to the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. H-time the home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD. Got my co-host in the building. We got Clay in the building. We got Auntie Swan in the building. And I don't know what happened to Mike G, but he will be back in the building as well. How's everybody's Good Friday evening doing? There we go.
Doing good. Refreshed, ready to get going.
Absolutely. Shout out to the people in the chat. There's Mike G.
Hey.
Mike, how you doing, brother? Mike, you there? All right. Shout out to the people in the chat. We got Al Woogie in the chat. We got it first. We got Brandon in the chat. We got Al Dickey in the chat as well. Shout out everybody in the chat. And y'all go ahead and let those comments keep rolling. Mike, are you good or no?
Man,
I guess you're not good. All right, that signal crazy.
Yeah.
As always, Mike in the car. But yeah, definitely. Houston Texans had training camp, joint practice on yesterday against the Carolina Panthers, where the H-Town Rundown was in attendance. Me, Mike G, and Swan were all in attendance to watch it. Mike, are you good to go? Are you still out of there? Yep, he's still out of there. All right. Shout out Lakeville. We talk about you. Shout out Texas Fan and Rehab. Shout out DQ as well. But definitely, man, the Houston Texans. You know what? I'm going to pause. Before that, I'm going to go ahead and announce it because I announced it on Twitter and I'll announce it again. Shout out to Lakeville89, longtime listener, original supporter and listener to H-Town Rundown, won our ticket giveaway, and he will be going to the Carolina Panthers versus Houston Texans preseason game on tomorrow for free in premium seats in the 100 section. So shout out to good old Lakeville 89, who's been, again, a long-time listener and long-time supporter. Where I'm at. Here we go. Let's go ahead and give him a hand clap. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. For the free. Mike G, are you with us, man? Are you with us?
Finally, yes.
All right. Free, like you right, Lakeville, free 99, man. The free, yeah. We appreciate you, brother, for being a part of the H-Town Rundown. So, Mike, you said you had something to say. Go ahead and talk about it.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, thank you for the hospitality. And it was awesome meeting so many of you in the audience, including Swan. But I got a secret. I know AD's secret. I'm about to blow this whole thing open. It turns out AD is actually a huge Bama fan because nobody in their house had that many elephants unless they're a Bama fan.
Or your spouse.
Hold on, Mike. I'm about to buzz your bubble.
Is your spouse a Delta? If your spouse is a Delta, that would be a bunch of elephants.
Yes. Absolutely. My wife is actually a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
That's an interesting cover story.
Oh, nice, a cover story. Okay. See, Mike, that's why your signal ain't working because you're up here trying to spread lies. You're up here trying to do the most. And it don't help that Delta's colors are similar to Bama colors.
I don't know.
Nah, Mike, that signal gone, brother. But yeah, Mike, It don't help because she got a red elephant, she got black elephants, she got white elephants, she got gray elephants, all over the house because she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Yes. So, but yeah, definitely. Mike tried to put me out there, trying to blast me on the low. But again, see how it works. See how Lord and Savior works, and protect those who are from the slander. You see, Mike G is being talked about. Hold on, look, that's a black person thing, Mike. But definitely. The Houston Texans did have a preseason game. They do have a preseason game. Jesus, do have a preseason game on tomorrow versus the Carolina Panthers, and they had a joint practice on yesterday with the Carolina Panthers. That the H-Town Rundown was in attendance, and we saw it all. Well, we saw the offense. Let me say that, and I got a beef with the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers on that because why did they only let the fans see the offensive side of the football? We didn't get a chance to see the defense go against Bryce Young at all because they were on the opposite field. I think only the media members who were located on in between those two fields were able to actually see the defense go against Bryce Young. But from what I saw, I was thoroughly impressed by the offense. I think that we have a lot of talent, and I think specifically for the biggest concern, which is the offensive line. The offensive line, I think, showed out pretty well against I would say, talented defensive line with Bobby Brown and Derek Brown, defensive interior defensive linemen, and they have some players on the edge as well that isn't talked about as much. But Swan, what are your thoughts about what you saw from camp? Speaking just on the offensive side.
First, I was actually I was disappointed. I didn't get a chance to see the. Well, I'll just say it was Bryce. I didn't get. I was disappointed not seeing, and the defense. I didn't need to see it again because I saw enough of them in camp beating the crap out of our offense. So it was nice to actually see the offense for as long as we did because we haven't seen them in depth like that for a whole camp day. Is usually come over, and do their little red zone and so forth. But you had a chance to truly see it. Now, one thing I did see, which was very different the last 2 years, was D'Amico actually was very involved with the offense on the field and actually coaching. So him and Kaylee apparently were working together on that. So that was good to see. So for those that say D'Amico is only invested in the defense, saw different in that.
Yeah.
So and I like what I saw. I mean, Mechie, I like what I saw. What I really loved was the O line um, really coming together. So I see a lot of positive signs. So looking forward to tomorrow. See if they can take from the practice field into a game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Speaking about tomorrow, us at the H-Town Rundown, we'll be live streaming the game tomorrow on playback. So y'all look out for that tweet and y'all go ahead and pull up the link and sign up for the H-Town Rundown on playback so you won't miss it while we communicate and talk about the game live and have a good time with it as well. Mike G, are you with us now? No. Okay. All right.
Hey, he trying though.
Now y'all know
You,
what it
you
is.
got
Right?
you got he trying to swarm, man. You got to give him the effort. You got to give him A for effort. Yeah.
Hey, I've been there.
But definitely, I agree with you, Swan. It was refreshing to see D'Amico on that side of the offense and kind of leaving the defense. He really wanted to pay attention and see how the offense fared against Carolina, who I think is going to have a pretty decent defense this year. And I feel like the offense fared pretty well. I like you said, John Mechie, and I'm gonna highlight it. I'm gonna get on my soapbox again. John Mechie was, in my opinion, the best receiver for the Texans in the team drills and everything. He made a couple plays that will make you say, "Wow."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I'm not mistaken, he scored a touchdown as well in the 2 minute, not 2 minute, in the red zone situation that they had in the team situation. But Mechie, like I said, by far yesterday was the best Texan receiver on the field and has been showing out left and right. Um, and other than that, I think Mills was he was we had this joke on Twitter that I think friend of the show DJ, instead of calling him Davis Mills, and this wasn't trying to take a shot at Davis Mills, he just mispronounced his name and messed it up through text, and he said his name was David Mills, Meals.
Yep.
And he played like David Mills in training camp on yesterday. He actually threw like 3 straight interceptions.
Mm.
It was one of them days. The first one was egregious. Like he just threw it right to the Panthers linebacker. Like
Mm.
he wasn't standing there. So it was like not a good look for Davis Mills. We had some of the fans commenting and saying, I think it was Mike too, said he was challenging his inner Graham Mertz. And we didn't even see Graham Mertz, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even think we saw Kelvin Slovis out there in the teams. So definitely. I think that overall we had a good day. Like I said, between Mechie and the offensive line, they really gave me a lot of positives to take away from this training camp on yesterday versus the Panthers, from what we were able to see. And I guess whenever Mike G gets his stuff together, we'll get Mike G's comments. I just need Mike G. You just need to go somewhere and park. And you need to go to a Starbucks or something and get you a signal. I know you be in the car, but you got to find somewhere with a good signal, man, because you out of there.
Why
Can't,
gotta be Starbucks?
hey, no, because Starbucks got free internet. So, they
Oh,
got free Wi-Fi. I wouldn't,
okay. I'm just checking.
No. Then King Focus say, what's good, y'all? I'm excited to see Urson and Marks. I mean, we're gonna talk about it because Jonathan M. Alexander, who was recently on the show, put out a list of bracketology list of 3 position groups: the wide receivers, the running backs, and the offensive linemen. I'm not sure if he's going to do the same for defensively, but because we as Texan fans at training camp, we only got to saw the offense, we're going to talk about that list that he provided, what we agree, what we disagree about it. But definitely, I got my comments on Woody Marks. I got my comments. I know Al Dickey had something to say, and I got a super hot take that probably is going to piss some people off. And we just got some breaking news, man. Breaking news from Aaron Wilson. The Texans have waived wide receiver Johnny Johnson from the injury reserve with an injury settlement. And they also did the same with Marlon Davidson. They released him with the injury settlement.
Okay.
Okay, that's breaking news. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it just popped up. Hey, I saw breaking news. So,
We man, we
and then
know what Johnny Wilson look. I mean, Johnny Johnson looked like.
hey, Johnny Johnson. Hey, he was.
Mr. Camp.
Hey,
He was there for David Culley days. If I'm
hey,
not
he been on the team for a while,
he's
man.
on the practice squad for a while every year.
Yeah, hey, he wearing them out. King Focal, did y'all see them bliss pickups and everyone holding up? Couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, that was, they did their thing. They did their thing. The running backs did well. Texans offensive line, again, like I said, I can't stress it enough. They are improved as a group. And from what I've seen, what we've seen between the preseason game and training camp, and probably what we'll see tomorrow, I can say right now that the Houston Texans offensive line is not going to be the worst offensive line in the NFL next year, which is a positive. Do you agree, Swan?
Yes, I
So
did.
definitely, Mike, find wherever you are, you need to just park. Just stay right there.
Uh, oh no, the second I do, that's when I'll lose service.
So,
So what are you doing? Driving around a circle?
No, I am on the way to a place with better service, but I'm not there yet. So,
and then
um,
yeah, we'll get your takes, because I
Yeah,
want you to be
you
able
can
to.
close his eye because that's about how long it's gonna take you.
no, it won't. No, the O line, we've been preaching it. It is about continuity, chemistry, and competition. And it looks like there you are, getting on the.
Dang, he
I
almost got it
told
off.
you, Mike. I told you, I
Y'all
knew it.
know what he was saying. He pretty much said it all.
Yeah. And again, he said Stover looking like a man. Yeah, that I think that was one of
I
the
told
plays.
y'all TE won.
That was one of the plays of camp. He laid out Derrick Brown
Oh, they
clean.
corrected that. Panthers fans corrected that because they were very upset. I don't know if you paid attention to your timeline. That was not Derek. That
No,
was
it was not. It was not Bobby
they saying that's Bobby.
Swan. I was there. Bobby was standing right in front of me. Bobby is number 97. Derrick Brown is 95. That's the difference. And I watched that video 3 or 4 times, and I watched it live. That was Derrick Brown. Panthers are trying to cover up for Derrick Brown. No, that was Derrick Brown. And Bobby Brown, no. We can pull up the video again. Matter of fact, let's watch it. I need to find out who had the video.
When was it Harley that
Yeah,
had
let
it?
me pull Harley up.
I can't remember. I think it was him possibly.
Yeah, I'm about to find him. Hold on. Let me find
But
Harley.
all I know is it set off a firestorm and uh
There we go. Harley. Let me find that tweet, man. Where
was it him that had it?
it was either him or Jacob. I think it's maybe
Yeah, maybe a Jacob.
Let me find Jacob.
I know it's one of them. They was blowing up the
Yeah, I
the
found
places. Trust me, they got enough traction off of that tweet. They should have monetized that one.
all right. So yeah, and again, if I will show everybody, that was Derrick Brown. Give me a second. I'm about to share my screen. It was the guy Nico. Can y'all see it? So here we go again. I'll start from the beginning. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
All right.
Bam.
So yeah, as we see it, that is a 5. That is a 9 and a 5. That is not 97. And if we go back a little bit further, you probably will see Derrick Brown standing up to the right of us. Bobby Brown standing up to the next of us. But yes, that was Derrick Brown that got laid out.
Look at that hit. Look at that hit.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He barely moved. Stover.
Yeah. And if you look at it again, you know it's Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown had knee surgery, has a knee brace on. Guy has a knee brace on. That is Derrick Brown. And that's 95. So again, yeah, they gotta get it right. Yeah, it was Derrick Brown.
So
Yeah, it was Derrick Brown.
they was upset.
They were upset about it. But they trying to correct it. But yeah, don't put that on my Aggie, man. That wasn't the Aggie getting knocked out. That was good old Auburn Tiger. Getting knocked out.
Oh, it would happen to the Aggies. Same thing.
It ain't never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, can't find it. All right. But yeah, definitely. Defense, according to some people, Panthers fans, Sheena Quick and all those, they said Derek Stingley got burnt by Ted McMillan and all that stuff. Nobody knows.
Well, no, they did show they did show it. He got a touchdown off of him, but they don't talk about the pick
that he
that
had.
off of him. So yeah, you got a touchdown, and he got a pick off of it. So and he got 2 picks in practice off of Bryce. I
Yeah.
think he threw 3 or no, you had to throw at least 3 because somebody else got a pick.
I know they said Kamara didn't have the best day either. So we definitely got a
But even Will talked about it up at the podium, indicating that it wasn't their strongest, and they've got to tighten up. More or less those lapses that we saw at times during the game last year, a little bit creeped in, and he said, basically got to tighten up, but then they're worried about it, like they know what they can do. So, which was good for them to, when you play your own players every day, and plus you can't really hit the same. You don't want to hit your players the same way you go hit in joint practice, because that's that team. So it was good for them to see something different instead of playing yourself. So let's say if you were feeling yourself, as the old folks used to say, uh, or smelling yourself, as some of you may have heard before. Now y'all go back in and y'all tighten that up.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about the defense.
Yeah. I'm not either. I'm not concerned. The defense I think is the one constant that we're always going to be fine with, even with injuries that we sustained. The Houston Texans have always, with the under D'Amico, with any regardless of injuries, being down, multiple cornerbacks, safeties, secondary in shambles, missing multiple linebackers, missing multiple defensive linemen. We've had a plethora of injuries on the defensive side of football, and we've always had a top defense the last 2 years under D'Amico Ryans, and I don't think this should change anything. We have a lot of depth on this defense, and it's going. I think they said it today on the radio. It's going to be a lot of talent that is going to be plucked off the Texans roster when the cuts come, because we can't keep them all. I know Ash Ketchum said you got to catch them all, but we can't keep them all on the Texans 53. So definitely got to look into the talent that the Texans have cultivated or accumulated during this D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio tenure together. And you correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm using the wrong words or not, Clayton. But definitely, I want to talk about it, man, because I need your input on here, Clayton, with the Jonathan M. Alexander. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. You tell me which one you want to start with. You want to start with the wide receiver room, the running back room, or the offensive line?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? Let's strike while iron is hot. Let's start wide receivers.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna go ahead and share the tweet. And first I need to blow it up, and then we'll go there. And this is from our friend of the pod. Just was a guest on the pod as well. Jonathan M. Alexander. Y'all go ahead and follow and subscribe on chronicle.com and follow his work, Jonathan M. Alexander. He said, one of the most competitive battles in Texans camp is wide receiver. Here's my Houston Texans bracketology or breaktology, however you want to pronounce that. Says bracketology.
Yeah, bracketology.
Showing which players are on the bubble. First two in, first two out. This is assuming D'Amico Ryans Q6. 7 is also possible. And just for note for Texan fans, the Houston Texans on last year's 53, they carried 7 wide receivers. Just for reference. So again, let's go ahead and take a look at it on Jonathan Alexander's list. If you want to take over, Clayton, you got it.
Sure. So we discussed it. So the first 4 are pretty chalky. We discussed this off stream. Nico, Christian Kirk, Higgins, and Noel. That we're talking about investments, right? Like you're talking about early rounders. Iowa State tandem. Like, they're not going anywhere. So, of course, that's your first four. Now, here's where it kind of broke down, right? Because you got in the first two out right there, you got Mechie and you got Justin Watson. Now, Justin Watson, I have not heard much out of camp about him. I haven't seen any clips, something like that. Former Chief, right? I think we're talking about investment. I don't think there's any type of real investment. If it came down to it, Watson definitely, I think, would be in that category, first one out. But see, then you go over the last two in, you got Xavier Hutchinson and Braxton Berrios. That's where we kind of had a little bit of a back and forth because Swan and I were talking about it. It's tough because Mechie, for me, is making that final surge of saying, like, hey, he's not going to get cut. Like, D, you've been on top of this. Like, you've been on the Mechie train. So it's not like you ain't flipping. Like, you've been consistent on top. I want Mechie to work, right? I want Mechie to work. I do. It's just, I just don't want it to be the same old thing, right? So I guess I'm a little bit, hype about the Berrios possibility. But to Swan's point earlier, I could also see if it came down to it, I wouldn't want to choose a Berrios over Mechie if Mechie truly is knocking on the door to doing something great, like 2 years, 3 years removed from a major life-threatening situation. And he's like just now kind of hitting this peak, if you will, for him, where he can really be something. I don't want to, like you said, the thought of him immediately balling out somewhere else, it would make me sick. So I think if it came down to it and we had to go 6, give me the chalk 4, give me Mechie and Hutchinson, and maybe you can keep Berrios in the practice squad. If you go 7, then absolutely give me Berrios as my 7th, and I'll rock out Watson on practice squad. That's how I'll do it. So.
Yeah. Swan, what are your thoughts?
Well, Clayton kind of touched on it. So I would go with everybody from last year, obviously. Nico, with the 3, Nico, Hutch, and Mechie, and then obviously our 2 rookies and Kurt. Would I love to, if we go 6, put a Berrios on practice squad? Yeah, but it wouldn't last. Someone would pick him up just because of his skill set. So, and I think the same thing with Justin Watson. Another team will pick them up. Those are the kind of guys that'll get picked up on another team. So hopefully it goes 7 because I like with Berrios. To me, the return game would just be electric because you can go Noel, you could go Mechie, you could go Berrios, and
you can even go Kurt.
Kurt. The reason I didn't use Kurt is that based on his last 2 years where he's only played up to 8 games the last 2 years, the less I put on him being possibly hit. That's why I say I love that idea of having these 3 other guys because I don't have to use Kurt for that and spare him. And all 3 of those guys have unique skill sets, so it would be interchangeable. So I would love to see that. And to me, they definitely Noel has the speed.
Yeah.
And we saw him doing the kick return yesterday. And it's like, I'm sorry, he's quick and he's shifty. So, yeah, that would be mine. Go 7, keep Berrios. If we go 6, then it's Mechie over Berrios. And my feeling for Mechie is the investment. 1, we traded picks to get him, and we got a new OC that seems to know how to use the receivers because that's the one thing I have noticed. The receivers seem to know what they're supposed to be doing.
What a concept.
Right.
What a concept.
So to me, I feel like Mechie is looking what we thought we would be getting when he came out of Bama. So I just feel nervous about letting that go when everybody else gets the opportunity to reset and get an OC. So that's just me. That's my soapbox.
I think real quick, I want to touch on just real quick. I think another thing, Swan, to your point about the whole Mechie thing is like, I ain't gonna a benefit of seeing like we got an all pro on our team, so we can say even in a practice situation like that is an all pro that Mechie is routing up out there. Like we did see those couple of clips of Mechie routing up Sting, who overran a route and Mechie caught one in the back of the end zone. Really caught quite two on him. So for me, it's like I think the volume of talent around Mechie would unlock him so much more. Like it's not just him by himself. It's what he theoretically could do. And the fact that like if you're a defense, you're gonna guard who? You got Nico over here, you got Kirk over here, Higgin here, Noel over there, Dalton, Cade, and you got Mechie. If he can just like be effective, like that by itself could do so much. So that's where I'm like, I want him to work so bad.
Right.
So
but think about this. Picture it this way. Okay. The same way D'Amico is going to spare Mixon by going to get Chubb, and you got Woody, right?
Yeah.
You can do the same thing for Kurt. You don't have to run him in the ground.
Right.
You will have the luxury of I could play Mechie,
and
I can bring Noel in and bring him along.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, all of them can play inside and outside, but all three of them are very good inside. But you're keeping the defense on their heels because they don't play the exactly the same way. Covering Noel versus covering Kurt is not the same. Them coming in and out of their breaks are not exactly the same. They're, top speed ain't the same. So to me, there are things that you could do with those three guys in the slot that could really cause havoc.
You can put them all out there at the same time
Exactly.
and do something.
And that's the saying is, to me, I like having that option. Or if you want to go out there and I'm looking forward being sick when you got Nico out there and you got Higgins out there. I'm throwing Mechie, or let's say I throw Mechie on the outside and I throw Nico in the middle. There's so many things you can do, and to me, all three are interchangeable.
Yeah, honestly, if you want to be real, Swan, with the 7 that we talked about, I would say the 6 because I won't include Barrios in that 6. With Mechie, Hutch, Noel, Higgins, Kirk, and Collins, you really could just interchange any and everybody.
Exactly, they all can play in and out.
Yeah, you can roll out lineups like I said with Christian Kirk, Noel, and Mechie 3 wide. You can roll out Nico, Higgins, and Hutchinson 3 wide, and have the same effectiveness as you would if you did the opposite. So,
man, don't go so wide on me. Oh God.
Yeah. What that mean, man, Swan? What that mean, man? What that will breaking mean, man? but definitely, I agree with it. Everybody here, we'll get Mike G's opinion whenever he gets together. But, I would say my 6, and I would put Barrios at 7 would be Mechie, Hutchinson, Noel, Higgins, Kirk, and Collins. I do have a hot take. And this hot take is probably going to piss some people off because everybody's in love with the draft picks, because they're brand new and they shiny and they toys and everything like that. But if you want to be realistic, and if he wasn't just drafted with our first pick in this draft, Jaden Higgins would be, to me, on the first 2 out. Jaden Higgins has not done nearly what the hype has presented him in the offseason to be. He has been basically non-existent, rarely seen, rarely making plays. And Swan, can you attest this on from yesterday? I think we saw a ball thrown his way maybe once.
But I feel say I felt like it was kind of like the John Mechie and really trying to get the run game established, because that seemed like it was truly the focus of trying to get that going. And
Yeah, but they threw the ball, but they did throw the ball more than they ran it.
But I was looking at where CJ was throwing the ball. The coverage was good. Um, because he threw a red zone pick. So I don't know because I couldn't tell in the corner who he's throwing it to.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a lack of like him not catching because he's doing it. I mean, he's catching the ball.
Right, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's
But
not. I'm not saying like he has the dropsies or he's
I don't
he's
think
not.
he's not living up. I mean, initially in the beginning of it, he was throwing to both the rookies, and then it felt like he was spreading around. And you know how CJ is. He locks in on
You're
certain
right,
focus.
but I will say this: the noise that we heard in OTAs about Jaden Higgins
Mm-hmm.
and him being this dog and him being this great receiver and this great pick has died down significantly.
Has it?
Absolutely. You
See, I
don't
don't
hear
think.
we used to get a Jaden Higgins tweet
Hmm.
about something he did in practice every day in OTAs. In OTAs wasn't but like 5 or 6 days, but every day it was a tweet out about something that Jaden Higgins did. This training camp, I've maybe seen maybe 2 tweets about Jaden Higgins. We 17 practices in.
But okay, but think about it. I would say the same.
Even in the Greenbrier, they didn't even mention him in the Greenbrier.
But I'm saying this, but it's the same thing. I would say with quote unquote Noel, with the exception he is actually on quote unquote the return team. So I think that's why we hear a little bit more. But I'm not. I am seeing CJ throw to Nico Moore, Mechie Moore, and as well as Kurt. I feel like he's more so throwing to the veterans more lately. Who is the?
I got Ramen. Romano said personally, I think Higgins will be like Nico. It will take a while for him to get
No,
adjusted to the league.
I don't
I'm
think.
not
I
saying
don't
that.
think so. I think he's ahead in the sense of him coming in, and the difference was Nico didn't play
Man,
for a whole year.
Nico missed the whole year with COVID.
So that was what, and I mean, he talked about that. He missed the whole year, and he came in. He have a. I'm sorry, he did not have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He did not. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. He did not, and
Mm-hmm.
your head coach at the time was a first timer, and I'll just leave it at that because I mean nothing I can say nice about that. Because dude didn't know he was supposed to.
So, but
Lovey, I'm saying is Nico was behind because of a year, and you didn't have the infrastructure in place. Whereas Higgins doesn't have to come in to be that number one wide receiver.
yeah,
So so what he's gonna do as the number 3 wide receiver, maybe he'll want
I
to be.
wouldn't even put him in number 3 right now. So
No, I'm saying that.
Hutchinson got number 3.
Right now he's number 3, just because it's Nico and it's Curtin. That's who CJ looks comfortable throwing to.
I understand that part, Swan, but I'm saying right now, the way camp has played out, he's not even the wide receiver 3. Hutchinson has been more of a wide receiver 3 than Higgins, is what I'm saying. Like, my thing is not, and I'm not saying that he's not going to be good or he's not going to be a great player or he's not going to be effective. I'm just saying it's my ears are my antennas are poking out because I feel like there was a lot of hype about Jaden Higgins,
I think his hype is
even
still
with
there.
I understand the hype is still there, but again, the season ain't started yet. And again, and what my point is being, he's not flashing like he was in OTAs. I will say this. Yes, he's not getting the reps, and I agree with you. He's not getting the looks and the targets that others are getting. I will also say this. I don't feel like he's taking advantage of the ones that he is getting. I look at Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel, when he gets the ball, he's doing everything possible to make a play. He's he's electric. He's just that type of player. He's an electric player. And that's what I mean is that Jaden Higgins, in his limited time, has not had the impact as far as making a play. Like he'll make a secure catch, but then there's no yards after catch. There's no breaking the tackle. There's no separating or making a big time play down the field or anything like that. And it's not. I'm not trying to, and I need to make
And
this
he
clear.
was early in
I'm not
camp.
trying to knock him. I'm not trying to knock him or put him down. I'm just saying, I'm personally, AD, I am a little worried, not worried or concerned, but I'm going to focus in on that aspect as the year goes on to see how he progresses. Because, you know, could this be another Mitchie situation? You know, and I'm not saying as far as injuries or anything like that, but as far as being you're down the depth chart and how you being thrust into the lineup because of an injury, are you going to perform or are you going to shrink in the moment? And that's what that's something that we would have to see during the year because he's going to get his opportunities during the year. It's just how does he perform? And that's just me, and that's just my concern. And that's why I said just me, if just based on what I've seen, what I saw yesterday, what I saw in the preseason game, what we've heard throughout the year, I mean throughout the training camp, is that it's been quiet. Did he get him? He got him. My bad. I'm sorry. I was watching the Astros game too.
No, they didn't. I could have told you that. Nope.
I've been 3
No.
or other camps.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
What I will say for me, him and Noel jumped out in the beginning, and when camp kicked off, and the ball was being thrown to them to get them acclimated, get them into it. I think at this point now, this is about who's going to make the team, and Noel and Higgins are going to make the team. They're going to make the roster.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, CJ looks out for his guys, and Miko has made it clear that when they were going to the Greenbrier and as the preseason games started, that guys would start separating themselves, and I could see where CJ is focusing more on his guys to ensure, especially Mechie, because he's the one that we know most folks think was closer to being on a bubble than anybody, as well as Hutch, that you need to highlight certain guys more. Because like I said, as he spent more time throwing to the veteran guys than he has the rookies, which is okay. But on the depth chart, unofficial, I know, Higgins is still wide receiver 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you saying that. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that based off because he was a second round pick, and he's they
his skill set. I mean,
I'm about to say, can I speak to the hype angle real quick? Because
sure.
So just some little bit of context for those who really aren't draft people out there. So a lot of the hype around Higgins, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the hype around Higgins, from what I understood watching the draft, kind of hearing the conversations, it was a lot of, like Swan just said, skill set, raw tools, big body, 6'4", basically mirror physical image of Nico, just opposite split wide of him. Good hands, right? Yep. And also the value where you got him at. Like a lot of the analysts were saying they were big on that. Like where the Texans got him is kind of also why they were so hyped. It wasn't just getting Higgins, right? Like it was like where they got him at for the value. But I don't know if this is hot take or not. I don't know if this is even relevant. For me, I'm kind of iffy on the conversation because I like the idea of Higgins' fit. Of course, it's Swan's point. He's going to make the team. Like that's whatever.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's questioning that part.
Sure. I think for me, out of the draft, I was more, and see, this is pie in the sky, right? This is like fantasy, Madden sliders. I was more of a like if Matthew Golden could have slipped a couple more, slides. And look,
That's who I wanted. I was
And
mad.
it might have been. And look, the second guy I'm about to name, he might have been like a character concern out of his college. But I was big on Luther Burden. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I was kind of looking at Luther Burden's highlight film, and I'm like, man, hey man, I thought Burden would have been a nice fit. It just he's a character issue out of college. I know. I'm just saying. So
Oh,
for
absolutely.
me, Higgins was like not even like the first guy I thought of. So that's why I'm kind of like I'm not as whatever about it. Look, it's a good situation to be in. As we say, these are good problems. He doesn't have the pressure of having to be wide receiver one, anything close, wide receiver two. You're asking him just to know the offense, right? Like know a better offense. You have a arguably top 10 quarterback in CJ Stroud. Like he's gonna find you. Like he gives guys chances. Like even if you drop it, like he'll give you chances. But right, like you're working with guys who are already up the game speed, up the league speed. They have natural advantages on Higgins. So I'm not worried about him unless he turns into like Jameis Winston at the position or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm not as concerned about it. I think to Swan's point, he's fine. Like, he's in a perfect infrastructure to help him come along. But to your point, I mean, would you like to see some more plays? Sure. Is it kind of weird that your teammate Jalen Noel is making plays? Sure. But I think he'll be okay in due time.
Yeah, and my point again, I re-emphasize it again. The reason why I put Higgins as like if we were basing this strictly on like if you take draft capital and you just take everything outside of that out and you base it not on what he potentially could be, but what have you done in this camp in these last 3 weeks? What have you done on the field? If you basing this off of, and that's why I wanted to preface it before I said it, if we're just basing it on play on the field, Higgins would be first two out for me. And that's just play on the field. That has nothing to do with where you were drafted, what your potential is, what your skill set is, this, and that. It has nothing to do with that. What have you done on the field? And again, like you said, Swan, he's wide receiver 3. I don't believe that based on play on the field. Play on the field, Xavier Hutchinson is more wide receiver 3 than Higgins. And again, I understand your point is that you're basing it on his skill set and what he can do, what he possibly can do, and his potential. I understand that part, but I'm just saying from what I've seen and what everybody's been commenting and talking about it and what we've seen in camp and the videos and content and everything like that when it comes to training camp before Greenbrier, during Greenbrier, after Greenbrier, during the joint practices, all the preseason game, because he did play in the preseason game, all of that, again, it just leads me to believe that we will see more Xavier Hutchinson at the beginning of the season than we would Jaden Higgins. And that's not saying that he can't eclipse or step over Higgins during the season at any point. Hell, it can be game 2 that he does that. But I'm just saying from what we've seen so far, and this is just this is based strictly based on play on the field and what they've produced so far. I would feel like Hutchinson would be your quote unquote wide receiver 3. And I would base it like this if we were just talking about it, not just talking about who's in and who's out. But if you wanted to say wide receiver 1, of course, it's Nico. Wide receiver 2, of course, it's Christian Kirk. I would go Xavier Hutchinson. Then it would be a toss-up between Mechie and Noel. And then that would lead probably more to the experience of Mechie. And then Noel is 5. And then you have Higgins at 6. And then you would have Barrios at 7. Well, Barrios will probably be over Higgins. Higgins will probably be wide receiver 7 if you're just, and I'm just, and again, I'm not trying to knock him, but I'm just saying based on like impact and what they've done on the field, Higgins has been extremely quiet for me because going in, like you said, I didn't watch a lot of Iowa State games. Yes, we did during the draft process. We keyed him out. We pointed him and Noel out. Yeah, they had a lot of production and great, talent. But for the hype and the way he's been talked about pre-draft and during the draft, even in OTAs, when training camp has started, it's like he's doing the Homer Simpson meme where he's fading
Camp
away
started,
into the leaves.
camp started, they were talking about him because in the beginning of the camp, he
That
was
was right because that was left over from OTAs.
right, but he was actually doing that in camp. So it wasn't like a
You talking
leftover.
about again, Swan? We talking about. I said it before. We talking about 1 or 2 days at the very beginning of camp. Take away. I'm talking about in the heat of camp, like from before the week before during Greenbrier, the week before Greenbrier. It's been very little talked about Jaden Higgins, and I'm going on this long soliloquy about it. I know it's a hot take, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of
Yep.
pushback behind it. But again, I need y'all to just watch. I'm not saying he not again because
He's number 3.
people take this comment and they change it and they make it seem like, oh, AD thinks Higgins is trash. Oh, AD
But if you're
thinks
telling me he's
Higgins
number
can't
6 or
play.
7,
But
yes,
again, I prefaced it by what have you done on
you
the
can
field so
preface
far?
how you want. Basically, you're saying if you're telling me
If we
Very
play the game
tough.
today, I'm not
would
relying
cut
on
him.
Jaden Higgins to make a
This is what
play.
you said. If it wasn't for the draft,
You said very cuttable.
I'm doing the air quotes over here too. Draft position, you basically would cut him. So that is
Very
saying that.
cuttable.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
I mean, that is.
hey. But that don't mean. But again, the Texans are loaded with talent. So if you get
No,
cut, that doesn't
okay,
mean that
but
you're not a good player.
But I mean, you're saying, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding AD over here because he's trying to say.
Sure, would people have the same hype about him if he was drafted in the 6th round?
Of course not.
No.
Thank you.
But his
Thank you.
resume in
Would you
college
have the
warranted.
same rhetoric about Jaden Higgins?
No. I was going to say depends on what I thought of him before. Because I'll give you an example. I mean, there are guys who got drafted later that I thought would go sooner and didn't. So, I mean, it all depends what I thought of you beforehand. He was one of those that was on my list. So, I mean, for me, I mean, everybody knows I wanted Matthew Golden, and
Yes.
but you know, blank him.
Matthew Golden with this team right now.
Disgusting. Oh.
Yeah, and I got jumped. By that team.
And I think
Emeka was my other one. They were my 1-2.
Man, that was
my 1-2. I said I would go either or, and then it would make it down to Higgins and the rest of the guys. I had Noel on my list along with a lot of the other speedy guys. If we didn't take one in the 2nd round, then it was Noel, but I had no idea that we would double dip. So I'm not going to tell that lie. I'm saying I was thinking I would be getting 2 wide receivers like that. But
I want him, Mike, since we finally got Mike.
Oh, he bad.
Finally got Mike. 50 minutes in, we finally got Mike. I'm
feeling like Drake right now, minus the allegations. Like, what did I miss? I mean, Higgins at 7 is insane. I get what you're saying. But he hasn't exactly.
What has he done to deserve to be higher than that, though? Other than being drafted in the first
pedigree is a big part of it, though. Like, it really is. So I would say, of course.
What I'm saying, what has he done on the field, though?
Okay, I can see he was dropping balls, running the wrong route, or
Barrios not doing that, and y'all got him at 7.
No,
Mitchell ain't doing that, and y'all got him at 7.
Who's y'all?
If you're not throwing the ball to me and you're throwing it more to others, how is it that I'm being penalized for not living up to the hype?
So let me ask you this question: what if he's not getting open?
I mean, separation hasn't exactly been his strength, even going back to college. But
hold on. What did you say, Mike?
The thing is, it's not even that. I mean, what he does well is he's a big target, red zone, sideline kind of guy. I mean, very similar to Nico. But like I said,
I got another
John
comment.
Mechie has been getting a lot of more of the share of the reps, and Hutchinson has been getting some. Those were guys came in on the bubble because let's be honest, if Mechie and especially Hutch, if y'all were doing what y'all were supposed to do last year, we wouldn't have both Higgins and Noel. One of them, yes. Both of them, no. You wouldn't have drafted the way you did if you had the confidence that both those guys had taken their leaps and that they were going to be consistent. Would y'all agree or disagree? Because we had other needs on the O line. We could have used one or both of them picks on O linemen.
Go ahead, Clay.
So
I thought Mike had it. No, look, Swam's in my mind. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the fact that her and I agree on the fact that I want Emmanuel. It's like, but no, you're right. I mean, look, if Mechie and X had done their jobs previously, yeah, I definitely agree that reshapes the entire draft process. But we're here now. You mentioned us having Barrios, in this conversation. I mean, by circumstance, like it ain't because that's just where we arrived at. It's tough, man, because like I said, I thought popped into my head, right? It may sound crazy. Let me preface. I'm not saying that Higgins is AB, prime AB in this conversation. So don't take it like I'm saying that. But for me, right, like the value of a wide receiver is not just in how many balls you catch when thrown to you. It can also be the value of a wide receiver seen in how many open opportunities can I get other guys, right? Like, again, and Juju Smith-Schuster owes a lot of his career to Antonio Brown. Like, fair or unfair to say, because AB being AB, that opened the door for Juju to eat because so much attention was on, AB that Juju could eat. Again, I'm not saying it's one for one, apples for apples. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, is part of it too. Like, defenses are on this man, or he just making it easier for others to get opportunities. I'm just trying to look at it, through a wider prism than just like our balls coming his way. Because AD, because ball. We all know ball here, right? We know that it's not just like, oh, who gets the ball the most. It is more complex than that. I'll agree with you that I would like to selfishly see more balls get thrown his way, but CJ is too cerebral of a quarterback to force situations like that. So in a lot of different situations, like CJ wouldn't even put the team in that position if it wasn't called for. So this isn't like an ego thing. This is just a lot. It's a perfect storm of things that can lead to this conclusion. But again, I guess I'm at the place where it remains to be seen. And until he just starts like butterfingering it up and just like you cannot trust him with the football in his hands, I will reserve judgment. I don't like not hearing his name as much, but I'm trying to reserve judgment until at least give me a couple games of live action where he alligator arms a couple passes or he's out of place. Him and CJ can't connect. Like, give me something like that, then okay, I'm right there with you. But until then,
yeah. You talking about no seventh spot.
That's
just nasty.
Hey.
The
Mike,
comments
go ahead,
of the host do not necessarily reflect the entire.
Yeah, there we go. Hold up,
I got one last point. We need to move on.
Know what it sound like? Remember that was this certain linebacker that came from a certain university you are very familiar with.
Hey, what they say?
That
What they
was slandering.
What did?
Hold on. He said never, ever want to see him on the field again. We said give him another year. I don't care. I don't know. Ain't nothing he could do. He said ain't nothing he could do.
Again, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give Clayton a backstory about Henry Noah.
Yeah, it was Noah. He just started calling him Tua.
Yeah, he was Henry Noah for a while because Henry's rookie year, which was CJ's rookie year, the game against Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. You remember that game? The great comeback that CJ had, and it wouldn't have never even come to CJ having that moment if it wasn't for Henry Tua. I will break this down for one last time, which pissed me off because we already had a non-coverage linebacker If I'm not mistaken, it was Denzel Perryman.
Yep.
Yes.
He was already bad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think it was what, third or fourth down? I think it was like third or fourth down. And they subbed Denzel Perryman out. And I literally turned around to the fans around me and I saw 39 trotting out on the field. And I said, they're about to score a touchdown on Henry Tortor right now. The very next play, Kate Otten
Yeah.
lost Henry Tortor for a touchdown for them taking the lead. I was so furious and so pissed off because you took Denzel Perryman out the game and you put Tortor in and you basically put a big red X on the target because that's exactly where they were going to go. You putting in a rookie, you asking a rookie to guard at the time, and I'm gonna say Kate Otten is probably a top 15, top 20 tight end.
That's among top 20.
Yeah.
Top 20. Top 20.
20, yeah.
20.
Yeah.
And he's very, very talented. He doesn't get the shine because he's kind of bounced over and it's been weird with him. But he's a very talented player. Of course, Tampa Bay is going to put him on a rookie who can't cover. Of course. And they go and they score the touchdown. And at that point in time, I'm like, damn it. We done lost the game because of Henry Tortor. If CJ Stroud doesn't turn into CJ, because we can all say that was a game that made CJ Stroud, and won CJ Stroud Offensive Rookie of the Year was that Buccaneers game. That game right there made him Offensive Rookie of the Year and made him who everybody thinks CJ Stroud is now because of what he did in that final drive with 46 seconds left and scored a touchdown in 40.
He G'd up.
You gotta thank Henry.
He G'd up.
He owes Henry everything. But from that moment,
he hates me.
Henry was Noah. And I will go back.
He blamed
and I blamed it on him. And again, he has not proven me wrong in coverage. I will go back to even this training camp. Everybody has talked about how bad Dalton Schultz is as a tight end. What does Dalton Schultz? He only has like 2 or 3 highlights this whole training camp. What is one of his greatest highlights on this training camp?
Dalton Schultz
as the commissioner of the Dalton Schultz hater fan club.
So that's a difference. That ain't last year's Dalton Schultz out there.
It's his refusal to block. It's not his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up. Hey, but you know what? No, actually, he's attempting to act like he looked like he actually trying to do that.
Nick Haley's been on him.
Let me say this again.
I'm gonna say it. The point is, Clay, he made rookie. He said rookie made that mistake. Hated on that man and called him Noah. Nothing he could do after that. Hold up. That could get that man's name back right to the end of this past season. Whereas everybody else that was a rookie could mess up, but they still kept their name. DJ threw 3 picks in that was it the Cardinals game or the Broncos game in that same season?
Cardinals.
Was it Cardinals? Yeah, it was Cardinals.
Yeah, all in the red zone.
He still called him CJ. Okay.
Because that's my quarterback.
Mistake, okay. Everybody made mistakes. They kept their name. We said, "Wait, watch he come back working off season." He said, "I don't care what you do."
And I will say this: we will still be Henry Noah if Christian Harris doesn't get hurt.
No, he put
if Christian Harris doesn't get hurt. If Christian Harris doesn't get hurt, Henry Tortor does not see the field.
Nope, he would get on the field. D'Amico was gonna get him on the field, okay? But that young man worked his ass. He identified what he needed to work on because they told him.
He's still bad in coverage. That's what he need to work on. That's why Dalton Schultz most him.
Well,
but we need to move. We need to move on.
Yeah,
let's move on.
I'm just saying. So
I painted the story on how he became Henry Noah.
Hey, this year we got a new one. So it is Higgins.
I mean,
yes, and look, let me say this. Every player that I have put the AD juju on has turned their life around.
So like Juice Scrubs.
I'm
would
not
that
trying
work?
to be blasphemous. I'm not trying to do anything, but I feel like I'm the baptismal pool. And I feel like when they ready to give their life over to be better football players, you come to the AD baptism.
Okay, or can you bash DP a little bit more then? Can you know?
Some
Because you
people
say that
can't be saved.
I knew you about to say that.
you said, hold
I
on.
knew he about to say that.
You gotta believe. Hey,
Say,
come on now.
He
You talking about pitching?
It was something like that about to come up.
Hey, but Mike, go ahead and get your point because we got two more of the Jonathan M. Alexander, and we need to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on as well following your footsteps with the Juice Scrubs. I think that would be a.
Hey, not Juice Scrubs.
Hey,
Hey, if it works, we're gonna keep doing this.
Let me tell you backstory on that real quick. He don't like Juice Scrubs because he wanted JMS.
I did. I also like Tippin.
Also, John,
and all of them are horrible.
I know.
From when he out of Minnesota, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he'll Jets now. I mean, Giants now. So that's why nobody.
Well, and I had a 5th round grade on him, so that was part of it too, about the process of it. But the wide receiver depth projection. I mean, look, of course, Nico at the top, Dominique, government name. Some of y'all saw that video. Christian Kirk, number 2. And, it is kind of a competition, I will say, for number 3. I don't really think Hutch is there. Mechie might be. I could see Mechie pushing for 4. But early in the season, Higgins is going to be out there doing his thing. Yes, he will. And if you're going to do that, you got to come up with a nickname.
You got 2 6
but
they play the same out there. That's going to be a nightmare for DBs.
And Jalen Noel too. I think he's looked good, and he's going to be a real presence in the offense.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Noel gonna go off. I'm sorry. I look at Noel like he's just the stockier Tank Dell. I look at him like that. I would not be shocked if CJ loaded up a 65-yarder game 1 to Noel and just
Yep, test that DBs and see. Hey, let me show you. No, hold up. Even if you don't connect, you go put them on notice.
Hey man.
Hey, I got a name, but I can't say it right now. I'm just hold it for Jaden.
Okay.
Whoa, Lord! See, you already put.
Hey, let's go ahead to the next one, and I think this is kind of controversial as well. Jonathan M. Alexander gave his bracketology for the running back room, as well. And I just think that this is blasphemous.
This is gonna be worse. This was worse.
Yeah, this is worse than the wide receiver.
Let me see. Because y'all handwriting.
Hey man, this is actually pretty good for a man handwriting. I don't know what you're talking about. This is very legible. He has again. He said, as promised, here's my running back list. This is assuming Joe Mixon remains on the NFI list at cut day. If he comes off it, which is possible, then Mixon goes to the top and everyone moves down 1. So, yes, I have Nick Chubb in the first 2 out. So, he has automatic bids, Woody Marks and Dare Ogunbowale. First 2 in, Damian Pierce with Nick Chubb trending down. First 2 out, British Brooks trending up, Jawar Jordan leveling off. And next one out is J.J. Taylor. What are y'all thoughts? Because I just feel
Okay, so basically, make this simple for me. I ain't got time on damn arrows. Mixon, if he's on the list, Woody Marks and Diary.
Yeah, and he said basically saying we're only gonna keep 3 running backs.
Who's number 4?
Damian Pierce. He would have Damian Pierce. He would have Joe Mixon, Woody Marks, Dare Ogunbowale, and Damian Pierce as his 4 running backs.
Nick Chubb making this team.
Well, look, man. So I look at this again. This is why I said no. This one's even worse to me because the way that you feel about Higgins is I'm looking at Woody Marks that same way on this list. Hey man, and this is.
I don't blame you. Friend of the pod, though.
Not based off talent. I like it.
Has shown his ability in the game.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like based off of drafts, take all the other stuff away, I'm saying the Nick Chubb being over where he is, it makes me immediately look over and say, well, who the heck he's supposed to be behind? Because I see Dare and Woody. I'm like, well, listen, like I like Dare. He's had at least some history here. Woody, like
special teams every once in a while, running back.
Right. I just think the Chubb pick is so egregious. It makes me look and see, like, well, hold on, what, like, why? Because there's no, to your point, Swan, ain't no way that I'm looking at Nick Chubb with a big fat red, down arrow in first two.
And here's the thing, you know what I don't understand is, all it takes is one person to say it, or two, and then everybody runs with it like wildfire.
Ain't no way.
I don't see what they're seeing with Chubb when folks say, "Oh, he looks like he's moving slow," whatever. He was never a burner. What the hell were you watching in Cleveland all these years? He's a bruiser. Okay, that's what you want. That 1-2 punch between him and Mixon. And to me, each day is like, to me, picked up. To me, he has no problem cutting. So the foot ain't an issue. Right. The knee ain't an issue. It is more or less reps because you spend a lot of time rehabbing. And to me, he looked quicker yesterday than he did the previous Monday or Friday. Can't remember. I'm losing track of my days. Sorry. So my thing is that that's just more or less repetition. But as far as his ability to see a hole when they're creating, and this whole thing, well, it would have stopped. I think AD was mentioning it earlier. I'm sorry. Quite a few of them tackles, he would have broken and gotten an extra 2 to 3 yards easily. So I don't get it. I don't know what people are expecting him to be. Or is it like last year when we got Mixon and folks was like, well, yeah, because we got him for a 7th-round pick and, the Bengals got off of him. Does he have anything left in the tank? And then it took him playing the way he was. They felt like, oh, wow. I think there'll be another thing with Chubb as well. And Chubb can catch out, and you can put Chubb on the outside. He can't catch. So, listen, if I remember correctly, his pass pro was good in Cleveland. So, I think now to me, so I don't get it. I don't know what people are looking at with Chubb. If you just be honest and say, well, hey, he's had the foot in the knee, and that just makes me nervous. Okay, fine. I can at least respect that, but don't tell me that the dude still don't got it. He washed. I don't get that because Pierce is not better than Chubb with 1 foot in a knee, and I love. I'm sorry.
You saying he could have a peg leg and still be better than David?
Yes, because Nick Chubb Nick Chubb got vision. So I mean, Jawar, I would put ahead of. I wouldn't even have him even. I would have him actually. I'll be honest with you. Let's see, that's 4. He'd be number 5. I mean, number 4. I'm sorry. You got Nixon, Chubb, Woody. So he would fall. Okay, Dare gonna make it because Ross gonna make sure he make it. Right. So technically that's 4. So he'd be running back number 5. Because
Swan, I would take Jawar Jordan over Damon Pierce right now.
Yes.
That's not a hot take.
Yes. Would I say yes? I would. That hurts right now, but yes, I would.
Gerard over Toro, I agree. With all due respect to
Mike made a claim that Pierce is Toro.
With all due respect to Jonathan Alexander, this is on par with Cal McNair's when the ball is snapped, the center becomes the leader of the team. Like Nick Chubb is legendary H-Town rundown clip. Nick Chubb is RB2. Has he looked 100% healthy for all of camp? No, but he's getting there. And we saw yesterday him rip off that massive run. And he's had quite a few runs like that. Have there been times where the running room wasn't there on a play and he got stuffed? Sure. but I think everyone in that running back room, except for maybe Mixon, would also have been stuffed on those plays. So it's Mixon, of course. I mean, I think he'll be ready week 1. I don't know about by cut day, but Nick Chubb is number 2. Woody Marks, I think, is going to make some plays as the season goes along, particularly in a receiving role. And then Dare probably with his special teams role. And, he does have some versatility there. He's going to make the team. Damian Pierce, we love you, buddy. But, it's not happening. Yeah, go ahead, Clay.
No, I'm about to say, let me correct myself. So, again, because the Chubb pick was so egregious, I just had to pick a name real quick. Yeah, Pierce is who I'm like, I'm sorry. There ain't no way that he's that comfortable. I'm sorry. And I like Damian Pierce. I do. I like D. Pierce, but no. I honestly, bro, I wouldn't be shocked if there was a trade package already kind of lined up for Pierce. We just don't know about it. No, just no. I'm not even gonna spend too much time on this. No, no.
Look, I'm gonna say this. How has Damian Pierce? And I get it. I understand he's a fan favorite because of the angry run, and he won that award and all that stuff against had the angry run against Jacksonville. Had a few plays his rookie year that everybody was so excited about his, presence and everything. But outside of a few plays here and a few plays there, what has he really done to earn the leeway and to earn so much? I would say so much protection and shielding from media members, from fans, that he's not, like, he couldn't be cut or he couldn't be released when we haven't seen Damian Pierce practice but 2 times this whole training camp.
Yeah.
So how would you put Chubb under Damian Pierce when Chubb has literally been out there for every practice outside of him having the concussion protocol, and he still was at practice?
Is not, like I said, it's even with the knee being torn up the way that it was, even the foot issue that Chubb had, he still is a better back than Pierce. Because the one thing, when you look at Chubb, he knows where to go. And here's the thing is, he's not indecisive. Chubb knows where he's going. The moment that ball is snapped and he receives it, he can see.
It ain't even, to me, it's not even.
No, but with Damian,
I understand that Damian Pierce is. And
I love Damian. I'm getting jersey.
I mean, he's Stevie Wonder's twin as far as when it comes to running the ball. But I mean,
that man has. Thank you. He has no vision. This man, like, I'm sorry, when you lost your job to Devin Singletary. Not to say Devin Singletary was a scrub, but like.
Different offense.
But Devin Singletary can't even see
that offense better. I mean,
Devin Singletary has not been able to see the field consistently on any other roster that he's been a part of outside of being on that Houston Texans roster and beating out Damian Pierce.
Not true. When he was with Buffalo. And initially last year with
but
the
he was a scat, like he was a.
No, you said as much.
A gadget back. I'm talking about being like he was the bell cow. When I say consistently, like they were literally turning around, handing him the ball.
Yeah, but that was week 9.
He never got that anywhere else. He did not get 20 carries a game in Buffalo.
I was saying Buffalo. It was kind of a toss-up game to game. It felt like it was.
But you had another bag that you could do that.
Yeah, Moss,
we didn't have nothing. What I'm saying is
fans would say that Damian Pierce is another back.
Not as good as that Moss, though. Not as good as that Moss.
Based on what you needed in a zone scheme, he was the only one that fit and could make it go. I mean, unfortunately, but
Dame didn't play with it.
I guess the thing is, based on who the running backs we have, and we got to decide on a who. Damien is to me, and I love it because I've been fighting to keep him. But based on what I've seen, he's an odd man out because we are too many backs heavy. That damn. I mean, Jawar to me should be above British Brooks, but that's my opinion. Based on what he has shown, based on what he does, because he truly adds a different type of a skill set. Because to me, with British Brooks, I can get that from Chubb. I can actually, to an extent, get that from Dire if I had to. I mean, I need a change of pace type back. So to me, Woody and Jawar fit that to me. You can do multiple things with those two guys. And Jawar got the speed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he get you give him a little crease and he get through it. Guess what? He going to the house. So I'm not. I mean, you want to see that, and we need that. We haven't had a guy like that. And if we go compete with the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens, we need a back that can do that.
Yeah, what you got, Mike? And then we'll move on to the final offensive line and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Gerard Jordan. I mean, if they go 4 running backs, well, let's see. If they go with 5, which is a lot, then I guess Gerard Jordan would be in that spot, or maybe a practice squad candidate. But for sure, number 1, Mixon. Number 2, Chubb. Number 3, Woody Marks. And then Dare occupying that number 4 role in special teams. So nothing truly heinous outside of the Nick Chubb position there.
I would be shocked not to see Chubb make the team.
Swan, but they're sitting up here saying that they're going to trade Chubb and keep Damian Pierce, which is that's
ludicrous.
Like, again, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, they invested like a good chunk of change in getting freaking Nick Chubb on his roster. So it just doesn't make sense.
Based on the conversation that Chubb said he had with Miko on why he came here, wanted to be here, I just have a hard time with that because nothing Chubb has shown says he ain't got it. Hell, we even kept Cam Akers and traded him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and we only did that because technically they thought, once again, we did have Damien. And then you had Mixon and so forth. And, he wanted touches. So they did him a solid.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't think they're making that same mistake twice.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go into this last one, which is the offensive line. His last bracketology.
Let me get my boxing gloves out.
Ain't no boxing gloves because I don't have no issues with this.
This was actually pretty tame.
Yeah, this was pretty accurate. He had the starting 5, as automatic bids. And then I mean, honestly, I don't see who would have a problem with this one. I think everybody should be in agreement on this one. You got your starting 5 as your automatic bids. You great right guard Titus Howard. Great right tackle Ariante Arcery.
Left tackle.
Right tackle, because if Cam Robinson is automatic, see you on the right side. Ariante Arcery. So yeah, that I don't have any problem with that with this list.
I knew you wouldn't. You got both Thomases out.
Here you
But Darius Henderson is out, huh?
Oh yeah, he's on the second side, and people don't want to talk about it. I talked about it during the
I heard that he was going to be.
people had their picks and everything, but Henderson has not been great. But go ahead, y'all go ahead at it. I don't have no arguments or any comments on this outside of that.
I mean, maybe you could make an argument for McDermott. Maybe pushing Scruggs.
How you
But
pushing
also,
Spurs? They play two different positions.
I'm saying pushing Blake, really.
I thought,
I don't know. I mean, you're keeping 9, right? That's the number.
9 is the number.
I'll say you.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're grasping at straws of this one because again, like for O-line, it's all about continuity, like we've been saying. And look, you're looking at first 5, right? That's really what I'm looking at. And the fact that we had the debate last time and they somewhat essentially solved it in this mock right here with both Cam and Ursary being in the same lineup at the same time, then like we said, you just make it work this season. Look, it looks pretty solid, all things considered. Right, to Dee's point, Cam Robinson being probably the most credible, or one of the most credible up there alongside Titus. Ursary being able to capitalize off his strong preseason game 1, and we know it's his first game, but still also in camp. Right, you see reports coming out about like certain amounts of pressures not being as high with the new look lineup, so maybe there's some opportunity there. Then you finish out with Tomlinson and Jake up there. That sounds about right. And then you look at the rest of the list. I mean, who really are you going to really fight for in any of the categories outside of starting 5? Like nobody really has an argument. But like to Mike's point,
I'm fighting for either Patterson or Scruggs because
right, yeah.
One thing with Jake Andrews with the Patriots, biggest issue was he couldn't stay healthy. And the last thing we need, what was that? What 4 years ago? When we had what was his name that we thought was going to be the starter that never was, and we never got the story on why he never started.
We're talking about
Matt Khalil?
No, the center. No, the center.
Remember we never got the story on what happened with that, and we were looking at not having a center, and we were living with, I forgot who the kid name that was playing.
Justin Britt is his name.
Yeah. That's it. And we were screwed. So yeah, I got to fight for Patterson or Scruggs because I need to know who my backup center. Because if you're saying Eli was one of the centers brought in UFDA's, then who's the backup?
Well, I mean, Patterson, I don't know why he has a down arrow on Patterson. Patterson is going to make this roster. So is Juice Scruggs is going to make this roster.
No, I'm just saying this. I'm going by his list. I'm going by his list. He's like, with Scruggs, but you're out on Patterson. I thought Patterson played better as a center.
Yeah, Patterson is fine, right? We saw it. I don't think we saw any issues with Patterson. I just think that
he kind of lightened the ass a little.
Well, yeah, he is, but I will say this also. I think his down arrow is because Jake Andrews is going to take over the starting job as the starter.
I'm guessing the arrows were indicating a previous projection he had.
Yeah.
And he probably had Patterson as a starter and then changed it and put him in the first 4 in.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. So it's like when I'm looking at the 9, who I'm fighting for is like, okay, Ingram had a good preseason and he looked fine definitely yesterday. And then, like I said, I need Patterson or Scruggs. One of them got to be my backup center.
Right.
I could have sworn Ingram was the worst player.
Backup guards and backup tackles. So what are we doing? Because we know we're going to lose somebody for a few games, probably 2 or 3. Because based on our history, we tend to lose by 2 or 3 of them. So who y'all wanting to fight for as these backups to get the 9?
I mean, ain't nobody to fight for. Like I said, again, I would say the fan base when we signed Ed Ingram. I remember a prominent media member made a whole episode talking about how bad Ed Ingram is and how he was a horrible signing and what are they doing type content. And now Ed Ingram is likely to make this roster and be a proponent in this roster on this roster. So, I mean, hey, what they say, another one man's trash is another
One
man's
man's
trash.
treasure.
So again, don't speak too soon because people forget. Wasn't Ed Ingram like a second round pick?
Mm-hmm.
He was a second round pick, so he has talent. It just
Just like
didn't work
Higgins.
out. Yep. He was there. He was there, Jaden Higgins in Minnesota.
Hello.
He didn't do anything. But again, like I said, hey, he has performed, and you gotta just wait it out and see. But go ahead, Clay, if you got anything, and if not, we can wrap it up after this.
Sure. Not to belabor the point. I mean, look, to Swan's so eloquently stated point, I hate the fact that we have to just put in our minds right now, you got to plan for injuries. Like NFL, it is a cruel sport. The injury is the greatest, arguably the greatest equalizer in all of pro sports. And you got to make arrangements. So to her correction earlier, which I agree, absolutely. You got Juice, Patterson. Like you want the guys back there who are gonna know what they're doing. Who maybe Kaylee can knock some of the dust off of them from the Slowick era and get more out of them. But right now, I mean, look, I like the five. They were looking at the starting five. I like the idea of Juice and Pat and whatnot backing them up. We just need to see it on the field. That's where I'm at with it. Like it's on paper, it's cute, but I need to see it on the field. I need to see Cam back healthy whenever he gets back. And we just need to get the best five out there and the best 3 or 4 behind them. That's really all I care about. And I'm looking at preseason game 2 to really solidify some spots. So whether it's injuries, whether it's, still being inconsistent, I'm looking at tomorrow and I'm saying, hey, this is a benchmark. Like game 3 is just like, all right, let's run it for like a quarter, maybe even a half, and let's finalize it. But tomorrow means a whole lot more. So
yeah, tomorrow is important, and I think we're going to see some action from, especially I think a lot of things are going to start playing out. I'm excited to see because I think tomorrow is kind of I think it's really
A Walker dress
game.
rehearsal.
Huh?
It's a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, it's going to be a dress rehearsal, and then I think that second half of that game is going to be really important for a lot of people on this roster to make an impact and make a play or make something happen. I don't think we see the likes of Graham Mertz. I don't think we see a lot of these bottom roster players, the gunslinger. I don't think we see a lot of those guys that like the Eli Cox and Ladarius Hendersons. We may see them, but I don't think we see much of these guys.
They might be like the fourth quarter late.
Right, which is why I'm saying
get on tape.
Right, but I'm saying last game they played the whole I think Henderson played from second quarter all the way throughout the rest of the game, and Eli Cox played the whole second half. I don't think you get that from them.
No.
I think you see a lot more McDermott this game. May see a lot less Zach Thomas, which is a blessing. Because I can almost bet he's gone.
I think you see more Blake Fisher, and
you said the name.
Huh?
Blake Fisher had a really decent day yesterday. He had a few hiccups here and there, but Blake Fisher was not terrible.
Because I don't fit the narrative, AD.
Because I promise it was a play that Ursary got beat, and it was on the ground, and nobody said anything. But let Blake Fisher get semi-beat, and there's 5 million tweets on the timeline. I'm over exaggerating.
Yeah, because it's how many times it happens. Not
it didn't happen but one time, and then the one time that it was posted that it happened, it wasn't even a sack.
No, I'm saying is because he constantly gets beat up is why when it happens.
Okay, what's constantly? Let's redefine the word constantly, and then we can move on, because constantly is somebody getting beat like every other play. That's constantly.
Right.
Getting beat once or twice in a 2-hour practice is not constant.
No, right, exactly. But I'm saying is that yesterday, if you want to say, okay, that was progress, yes, it wasn't every play, but the problem is that he's had throughout camp too many of the every play he's getting his ass whooped, kind of thing. Whereas when it happens with him, yes, folks gonna make a bigger deal out of it because it's the same old, same old. Whereas Ursery is a rookie, Blake is not a rookie, and Blake was a starter. It's not like he was sitting on the bench watching. And you're saying, well, really, he's really a rookie because he never played. Well, he really did play. So yeah, he's judged harder.
Yeah, but Blake played again. I think he started 5 games, and the only reason why he even saw the field was because of Laramie Tunsil and Kenyon Green.
Right. But I'm just saying this.
If those two issues happen, are we still looking at are people crucifying Blake Fisher the same way?
No.
Again, and I will say this again, he was on the field with probably one of the worst Texan offensive lines in the last 10 years of Texan football. So him being a part of it, again, you see the negativity that came with Juice Scruggs. Anybody that played on that line outside of Titus Howard has been getting crucified through the media and the fan base.
Right, because how you look out there.
No. I'm gonna say this. People were saying this before they even saw them take the field. Before Juice Scruggs took the field in training camp and OTAs, before Blake Fisher took the field in training camp and OTAs, there's been a negative narrative painted before they even took the field. So this is premeditated.
Yeah, it's kind of like you saw Tor and
that ain't premeditated. Swan, that ain't premeditated.
Yes, it was.
Premeditated. Premeditated is if I was calling him Noah before the season started.
No, you hold up. You did coming into his second season.
Swan, I'm talking Swan.
I'm saying this. It's the same thing.
But you're trying. No, it's not. It's not the same thing. And the thing about it is that premeditated means that they have already come to this conclusion that this is what they're going to be. This is it. Like they've already painted this narrative. And again, I'm just AD. I'm nobody. I don't have the power. I don't have the reach. I have that others have. But again, the media members had already soured on them, because they were bad players. They soured on them because they were attached to something terrible.
So
just like
his thing is, in all honesty,
I was about to say some real father. No.
In all honesty, did CJ not get sacked 52 times?
Swan,
I'm
talking about the player.
I'm saying this. Everybody, I'm saying this. Even Titus in the offseason, there was discussion about trading him. Folks said, well, we won't get as much value for him. Tunsil is the one that has the value. So folks soured on the whole O-line based on performance. So it's not like it was just Juice and Blake. That whole O-line, folks, was soured on based on their performance. And
I'm gonna say this. This is another example, and we need to go because we're already an hour and a half in. Cam Robinson has got a lot of negative flack because people sour on him because of the organization that he played for, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Cam Robinson was the tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, or was a tackle for the Buffalo Bills, or was a tackle for, hell, even the Tennessee Titans, the negativity that Cam Robinson is getting and hasn't done anything, honestly, in camp to deserve it, to be saying, oh, let's cut him, let's bench him, let's not play him. For him to get that is really based off that he was a Jacksonville Jaguar. For 7 years.
I mean, you think he was Trent Brown?
That's a small.
People were talking negative about him before he was even traded to Minnesota.
No, but I'm saying is the Minnesota part is what did him completely.
And he never got benched.
Because folks believe folks
He
thought
was he
he had
was
a
so
chance.
terrible that he never got benched, that he never got
Stuck with
replaced.
him.
He
They had
never,
no
and
option.
they won 9 games in a row with him. And he was so
And
terrible.
right, but that deep, yeah, but
Okay,
that was a weak
okay.
spot.
I'm just pointing the stats out there. You can
I'm talking about
paint
eye
it how
test.
you want to paint it, but the facts are the facts.
I'm looking at eye
He was
test.
so terrible that they did not replace him, that
Yeah,
they did not bench him, and they won 9 games in a row with him. That's how terrible he was. That's
you
just
live,
the facts.
you gotta live.
That's
Hey,
the facts. That's
that
the facts on paper. And we're gonna leave that facts and let it be.
And Al, if that's not a joke, you just need to rewind it back. We talked about Higgins.
Yeah, we did talk. I think this is it scrolled up for whatever
Oh,
reason.
okay.
Um, but definitely it is brought a lot of angst into the fan base. Offensive line has brought a lot of angst into it. But definitely again, shout out to the over 100 100 was 115 100 close to 120 people watching
spending
live.
your Friday evening with us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. I know it's getting close to high school football time. It's getting close to especially in Texas, high school football is religious. And it's getting close to college football time. So it's a lot going on. We appreciate y'all all for hopping in and joining us
Listen,
on this gig 'em on this great Friday evening. We appreciate y'all sharing your time with us at the H-Town Rundown. Thank you for everybody in the comments. J Rock, DQ, Chris, Austin, Romanos, Brandon, K1 Stella, King Foka, Al Dickey, Lackville, our winner, Rolo, Texans fan in rehab, and IOI Woogie. We appreciate y'all all for being in the comments and riding along with us through the show. We appreciate y'all, and I appreciate my co-host Mike G, Auntie Swan, and Clay Anderson as well. Appreciate everyone, and we will see y'all on tomorrow when we be going live on playback as we're watching the Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers game. So y'all be sure to sign up for playback. Follow the H-Town Rundown, like, share, and subscribe to H-Town Rundown podcast on all platforms, and we will see y'all when we see y'all, man. Peace.
night.